You are surrounded by energy. It flows through you, around you, and shapes every aspect of your reality. But they never taught you how to control it. You were born into a world that runs on energy, yet no one handed you the instruction manual. Instead, they distracted you, conditioned you, and made sure you never questioned why some people seem to command life effortlessly, while others struggle against invisible forces. The truth is, energy is not some abstract mystical idea. It is the fundamental force that governs everything: your thoughts, your emotions, your health, your success. And right, it is dictating your entire existence. Some call it prana, chi, ether. Science calls it the quantum field, but names don't matter. What matters is this: those who understand energy shape their reality with precision. Those who don't are shaped by it. For centuries, this knowledge has been hidden, passed down only in secret, guarded by mystics, alchemists, and esoteric scholars. Why? Because true mastery over energy means power. Power over the very fabric of your life. If you've ever felt like something was missing, like there was an unseen force holding you back, it's because there is. But that force isn't working against you. It's simply waiting for you to take control. By the end of this video, you will know how to control your energy. But before you can command it, you need to understand the force that has been shaping you all along. Everything in existence is energy. The air you breathe, the thoughts in your mind, the emotions you feel, all of it is part of a vast, interconnected field of energy. Yet most people go through life completely unaware of it. Like fish that don't realize they're swimming in water. You've been trained to believe in only what you can see, touch, and measure. But the reality is, the most powerful forces in the universe are invisible. Gravity, magnetism, consciousness, all unseen yet undeniably real. And energy is the same. It is the silent architect of your existence, the current that carries you forward or holds you back, depending on whether you learn to control it or let it control you. Ancient civilizations understood this. They knew that energy was not just something external, but something living within them. The Chinese called it qi, the Hindus named it prana, and in Western esoteric traditions it was known as the vital force. They built entire systems around cultivating and directing this energy: Qigong, Reiki, Hermetic alchemy, Kabbalah, Tantra, all rooted in the understanding that energy is not passive, it is programmable. It responds to thought, intention, and will. The modern world, however, has stripped this knowledge away, replacing it with mechanical explanations of reality. Science has mapped the brain but ignored the mind, measured electrical impulses but dismissed the energy behind them. This isn't ignorance, it's by design. Those who understand energy cannot be controlled. Those who master it do not rely on external systems for validation, health, or success. They become self-sustaining, untouchable, free. But what happens when you don't control your energy? It doesn't just disappear. Energy must move, must flow, and when it isn't directed with intention, it is pulled and shaped by outside forces. The world is full of energetic imprints, media, environments, people, all broadcasting their own frequencies, influencing you whether you realize it or not. Every time you step into a crowded space and feel drained, every time you engage in mindless scrolling and lose your focus, every time you let fear and doubt override your desires, your energy is being scattered, leaked, and absorbed by something else. Without control, you are like a radio picking up random signals, unconsciously tuning into fear, anxiety, and limitation because that is what the system feeds you. You were never taught to shield your energy, never taught to command it. Instead, you were conditioned to give it away. But energy does not belong to those who take it. It belongs to those who claim it. Those who cultivate their energy can transform fatigue into vitality, chaos into order, passivity into power. Every great leader, every magnetic personality, every individual who seems to move through life with effortless success has, whether knowingly or unknowingly, mastered the art of controlling their own energy field. They do not chase, they attract. They do not react, they command. And it has nothing to do with luck or talent. It is a result of unseen mastery. Most people will never unlock this knowledge. They will continue to live as energetic bystanders, unaware that the very thing they seek, clarity, strength, purpose, has been within them all along. But some truths are not meant for mass consumption. That is why certain teachings can't be fully explained here. If you truly want to go deeper, to access the knowledge that remains hidden in plain sight, we share it exclusively in our free newsletter, Insights Academy. For a limited time, those who join will receive a copy of the Kybalion, not as a reward, but as a key to understanding the foundation of energy control. Follow the link in the description, enter your email, and step into the knowledge that can't be spoken openly. Now that you understand the force within you, the next step is learning to direct it, because knowledge alone is not power, applied knowledge is. And once you know how to shape energy, you can shape your reality. Energy is not just a vague concept or an abstract philosophy. It is a force that has been studied, refined, and mastered by those who sought power beyond the physical. The mystics, the alchemists, the sages of every ancient tradition understood that energy was not simply something to be felt, but something that could be directed, stored, and transformed. They built entire systems around it, systems that have been buried, diluted, and dismissed by modern society. But those who seek the truth will always find it, hidden in plain sight, encoded in symbols, texts, and whispered teachings that have survived the ages. Throughout history, those who understood energy were the ones who shaped reality itself. Franz Barden, a true master of hermetics, described energy as the essential link between the physical, mental, and spiritual planes. Without control over energy, man is no more than a leaf caught in the wind, carried by forces he does not see and cannot resist. Eliphas Levi, one of the greatest occultists, spoke of the magnetic fluid, an unseen substance that fills the universe, responsive to thought and will. And then there was Aleister Crowley, who declared that magic was nothing more than the art of causing change in accordance with will. These were not empty words. They were statements of power, instructions for those who dared to break free from limitation. Because energy is neutral, and it obeys only those who learn to command it. The difference between those who drift through life and those who carve their own path lies in energy mastery. The weak allow their energy to be pulled in every direction, dictated by emotions, distractions, and external forces. The strong focus their energy like a laser, bending reality to their intent. This is why some people seem to manifest effortlessly, while others struggle. It is not luck. It is not talent. It is the silent mastery of energy in motion. You see it in the ones who walk into a room and shift the entire atmosphere, the ones whose mere presence commands attention, not because of anything they say or do, but because their energy is fully under their control. But here's the part most never realize. Energy moves according to universal laws. Just as gravity governs the physical world, energy is shaped by its own unseen principles. Those who ignore these laws are bound by them. Those who understand them can move freely within them. The first law is simple. Energy flows where attention goes. Whatever you focus on, you feed. This is why people trapped in cycles of negativity, fear, and limitation continue to attract the very things they seek to escape. Their energy is reinforcing their reality, whether they want it to or not. The second law, energy must be directed with intent. Passive desire achieves nothing. Wishing for change, hoping for success, longing for transformation. These are the thoughts of those who remain stagnant. The ones who shape reality know that energy moves only when it is commanded, shaped by the force of deliberate will. This is why throughout history, true energy masters were feared, revered, or hidden away. Those who could control energy could command health, wealth, influence, and even the perception of time itself. And while the world has tried to erase these teachings, their power remains unchanged, waiting for those who are ready to claim it. But here is where most fail. The mind must be as disciplined as the energy it commands. Without mental mastery, energy disperses, chaotic and uncontrolled. It does not matter how much potential someone has, how much knowledge they accumulate. Without focused will, their energy remains weak, scattered, easily influenced. This is why distractions are the greatest weapon against those who seek power. If they can keep your mind restless, your energy will never be fully yours. Now that you understand the foundation of energy mastery, the next step is turning awareness into action. Because knowing is not enough. The body must become the vessel, the mind the conductor. Energy must move through you with precision, and for that to happen, you must understand how it flows, where it gets blocked, and how to command it at will. Your body is not just flesh and bone. It is an intricate energy system, a living conduit through which life force moves, constantly shaping your health, emotions, and mental state. But here's what they never taught you. Every sensation you feel, every thought you think, and every action you take is a direct result of how your energy flows within you. When that flow is strong and unobstructed, you feel powerful, clear-minded, and in control. When it is blocked, stagnant, or drained, you experience fatigue, anxiety, and a sense of being lost. You were never taught to recognize these energy shifts, let alone control them. Instead, you were trained to ignore the signals, to dismiss them as random emotions or unexplained exhaustion, when in reality, they were warning signs, signs that your energy was being disrupted. Ancient traditions understood this long before modern science even began to scratch the surface. The Chinese mapped out the meridian system, discovering that energy flows through specific channels in the body, just like blood through veins. In India, the yogis spoke of nadis, pathways that carry prana through the physical and subtle bodies. The Egyptians and Hermeticists understood the power of energy centers, later known as chakras, each acting as a gateway between the physical world and higher states of consciousness. These systems were not superstitions. They were blueprints, detailed instructions on how to harness the immense power within the human body. But while these traditions explored energy in depth, the modern world has dismissed them as metaphors rather than mechanisms of reality. Instead of learning how to clear energy blockages, you were given medications. Instead of being taught how to recharge your energy field, you were told to consume stimulants, to push through the exhaustion, as if your body was just a machine to be maintained, rather than an intelligent energy system to be mastered. Think about the moments in your life when you have felt truly alive, when your mind was sharp, your body light, and your emotions powerful, yet stable. That was energy in full flow. Now think about the moments of doubt, confusion, and exhaustion, when no matter how much you rested, ate, or distracted yourself, something still felt off. That was blocked energy. Most people exist in a constant state of energetic imbalance, never realizing that their stress, their emotions, and even their physical ailments are not just happening to them. They are the result of trapped energy, unresolved energetic patterns that accumulate over time. Some of these blockages come from within, from years of suppressed emotions, negative thoughts, and a lack of self-awareness. Others come from external forces, environments, people, and situations that drain your energy, leaving you feeling depleted without knowing why. But energy is not meant to be stagnant. It is meant to move, to expand, to be directed. When energy does not move freely, it turns against you. It manifests as tension in the body, anxiety in the mind, and misalignment in your life. This is why practices like Qigong, breathwork, and energy-based disciplines have existed for centuries. They are not just exercises. They are methods of restoring the natural flow of energy, techniques designed to clear blockages and cultivate internal power. When you learn to align your energy, everything shifts. Your emotions stabilize, your thoughts sharpen, your physical strength increases, and your presence changes. You become magnetic not because of some external force, but because your energy is finally under your control. If you do not take command of your energy, something else will. The distractions of modern life are designed to scatter your focus, to pull your energy outward, leaving you drained and disconnected. But when you reclaim control, when you begin to move energy through your body with intention, you unlock something that most people will never experience: true power. Now that you understand the nature of energy flow, the next step is learning how to control it at its source. Because energy does not begin in the body, it begins in the mind. And those who master their mind master everything. Energy does not move on its own. It follows direction, responds to focus, and bends to intention. And the single most powerful tool for shaping energy is the mind. But here's the problem. Most people do not own their minds. Their thoughts are scattered, their emotions reactive, their focus hijacked by the noise of the world. They go through life believing they are making choices, when in reality, they are simply reacting to impulses, distractions, and conditioning. And as long as their mind is unfocused, so is their energy. This is why most people struggle. It is not that they lack potential, intelligence, or ability. It is that their energy is fragmented, constantly pulled in different directions by a mind they do not fully control. Everything you think, feel, and believe influences the way energy flows through and around you. If your mind is undisciplined, your energy will be chaotic. If your thoughts are weak, your energy will be weak. If your focus is unstable, your reality will be unstable. This is why those who have mastered their energy always start with the mind. In esoteric traditions, the mind is seen as both the creator and the destroyer. It can be the architect of power, shaping reality with clarity and precision, or it can be the greatest obstacle, generating confusion, self-doubt, and weakness. The difference lies in awareness. Most people are unaware of their own thought patterns, unaware of how their internal dialogue shapes their external experience. They let their mind wander aimlessly, unaware that every stray thought is directing their energy somewhere, whether towards growth or towards limitation. But here is where the shift happens. The moment you take control of your thoughts, you take control of your energy. The moment you stop letting external forces dictate your focus, you reclaim your ability to shape reality. This is why all ancient energy systems emphasize discipline over the mind. The yogis of India used meditation not as an escape, but as a tool to train mental command. The Hermeticists of the West taught visualization as a means of imprinting energy onto reality. The Taoists of China practiced breath control as a way of linking mind and body into a single, unified force. And yet, in the modern world, these teachings have been watered down, stripped of their power, reduced to simple relaxation techniques rather than the profound tools they truly are. What they don't tell you is that the mind is the gateway. If you can hold a thought with absolute focus, if you can direct your emotions with intention, if you can train your awareness to remain steady in a chaotic world, then energy will obey you. It has no choice. The difference between those who drift through life and those who command their path is the ability to concentrate energy through focused thought. This is why those who achieve great things often speak of obsession, of singularity of vision, of an unshakable knowing that what they desire will come to pass. They are not simply thinking. They are imprinting their energy onto reality itself. But most people will never reach this level. Not because they lack the ability, but because they lack the discipline. They live in a world designed to scatter their focus, to pull their mind in 1,000 directions, leaving them powerless, their energy diffused and ineffective. Every notification, every advertisement, every external distraction is a test, one that most people fail without realizing it. They do not see how their attention is being stolen, how their energy is being drained by forces that thrive on their weakness. But once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Once you recognize that every thought is either a tool or a trap, you begin to take control. And when you take control of your mind, you take control of your energy. This is not about wishful thinking. It is not about empty affirmations or blind optimism. It is about mastery. It is about sharpening the mind into a precise instrument, capable of focusing energy with absolute clarity. It is about developing the ability to hold an image in your mind so vividly that reality has no choice but to conform. This is the secret that has been hidden in every mystical tradition, buried beneath metaphors and symbols, waiting for those who are ready to understand. Because when you learn to control your mind, everything else follows. Your energy strengthens, your actions become deliberate, and your presence commands attention. But the mind alone is not enough. Energy must not only be focused, but also moved, expanded, and directed with precision. And this is where technique comes in. Now that you understand the role of the mind, the next step is learning how to apply it, how to engage with energy, how to strengthen it, and how to wield it with intention. Because knowing how energy works is one thing, controlling it is another. Knowing that energy is real is not enough. Understanding that it flows through you, that it shapes your reality, that it responds to your thoughts and emotions. None of that matters if you do not know how to use it. Knowledge without application is powerless, and that is why most people never truly experience the depth of their own potential. They read, they listen, they contemplate, but they do not practice. They let their energy remain scattered, unfocused, and under the influence of forces outside their control. But those who take action, those who learn how to feel, strengthen, and direct energy, become something different. They become forces of nature. They radiate presence. They shift the atmosphere of a room just by walking in. They create, they manifest, they attract, not through chance, but through mastery of energy in motion. Your energy is like a muscle. If it is weak, it cannot hold its shape. It cannot be directed with precision. It cannot sustain power for long periods. But when trained, it becomes sharp, dense, magnetic. You have felt this before, even if you didn't recognize it. The rush of adrenaline before something important, the deep calm of absolute certainty, the heat of intense focus. These are moments when your energy is heightened, activated, pulsing through you in its purest form. But for most, these moments are rare, accidental, fleeting. The difference between those who drift through life and those who command it is the ability to summon that energy at will, to hold it, to use it with purpose. This is the foundation of all energy control, awareness, activation, and direction. Awareness is the first step. Most people do not feel their own energy because they have never been taught to notice it. They move through life numb, disconnected from their own internal power. But energy is always there, waiting to be acknowledged. It is in the tingling sensation at your fingertips when you focus, in the warmth in your palms when you hold them close together, in the electricity that runs through you in moments of deep emotion. Once you start to pay attention, you will realize it has been there all along, flowing, shifting, responding. But awareness alone is not enough. Energy must be strengthened, built up, expanded. And just like physical strength, this requires effort, consistency, and discipline. This is where most people fail. They expect instant results. They think a few moments of focus will give them mastery over something that takes years to refine. But energy does not obey impatience. It responds to persistence. The more you work with it, the more you cultivate it, the stronger it becomes. Breath control, movement, stillness, visualization. These are the tools that have been used for centuries to build energy, to turn it from something vague and subtle into something powerful and tangible. The great masters knew this. The ancient practitioners of Qigong, pranayama, hermeticism, they all understood that energy must be trained, shaped, refined. But raw power without direction is chaos. Energy, no matter how strong, must be guided. A wildfire burns without purpose, but a controlled flame illuminates and transforms. This is where the mind and the will come into play. It is not enough to have energy. You must know where to send it, how to focus it, how to channel it into thought, into action, into reality itself. This is what separates those who simply understand energy from those who truly control it. They do not let their energy disperse into random emotions, mindless distractions, or wasted effort. They hold it steady, directing it like a blade, cutting through obstacles, bending reality to their intent. This is the art of energy mastery. It is the difference between those who move through life passively, subject to every force around them, and those who take control, who shape their reality from the inside out. It is the difference between those who wish and those who will. And now that you understand the mechanics of energy, the next step is learning how to strengthen it, to build an internal reservoir so powerful that nothing can shake it. Because power is not something given, it is something cultivated, and those who possess it are the ones who refuse to let it slip through their fingers. Energy is like fire. It can be powerful, expansive, and transformative, but without the right structure, it burns out. This is why most people feel drained, exhausted, and disconnected from their own potential. Their energy is constantly leaking, scattered in 100 different directions, spent on distractions, meaningless conflicts, and unconscious habits. They do not realize that energy, once lost, must be replenished. That power, once wasted, must be rebuilt. And so they continue the cycle, waking up tired, relying on artificial stimulants, chasing fleeting bursts of motivation that never seem to last. But those who understand energy know a deeper truth. The body and mind are reservoirs. They are meant to store energy, to cultivate it, to refine it into something that can be accessed at will. The difference between those who are constantly drained and those who radiate power is not luck, it is mastery. The first key to strengthening energy is conservation. Most people lose energy without realizing it. They give it away in moments of emotional outbursts, in mindless consumption, in interactions that leave them feeling depleted rather than empowered. They do not understand that every thought, every word, every action is an exchange of energy. Every time they allow themselves to spiral into negativity, to be pulled into someone else's drama, to consume meaningless content for hours, they are leaking energy, scattering their focus, weakening their internal reserves. But those who cultivate power move differently. They are deliberate with their energy. They do not waste it on what does not serve them. They do not let external forces dictate their state of being. They hold their energy close, strengthening it, refining it, building it into something undeniable. Strengthening energy is not about doing more. It is about doing less of what weakens you. It is about removing what drains you, cutting ties with habits that leave you feeling empty, replacing them with practices that restore, nourish, and amplify your internal power. This is why the most powerful individuals throughout history have all spoken of discipline, not as a burden, but as a necessity. Discipline is the container that holds energy in place, that prevents it from being wasted. It is why masters of energy work spend years refining their breath, their movement, their thoughts, because they know that every uncontrolled reaction is a crack in the structure, a place where energy escapes. But conservation alone is not enough. Energy must be built, charged, expanded. This is why those who master energy practice stillness as much as motion. They understand that silence, solitude, and internal focus allow energy to accumulate, to settle, to grow. This is why deep breathwork, meditation, and physical cultivation are not just spiritual practices but energetic necessities. The body is a generator. The mind is a conductor. When the two are aligned, energy becomes something that can be held, stored, and used with intention. And here lies the real secret. Stored energy is influence. The reason some people have presence, the reason they walk into a room and immediately draw attention, is not because of their appearance, their words, or their status. It is because their energy is potent, dense, and unshaken. They do not leak energy through nervousness, insecurity, or constant overexertion. They radiate it naturally, effortlessly, simply by existing in a state of internal power. This is why the most magnetic individuals are not always the loudest, the most forceful, or the most aggressive. True power is quiet. It is felt rather than spoken. And that is what makes it unstoppable. But the greatest mistake people make when working with energy is forcing it. Energy does not respond to tension. It does not flow under strain. It moves with ease, with rhythm, with breath. This is why those who truly understand energy do not rush, do not panic, do not grasp at power. They allow it to build naturally through presence, through awareness, through deep, deliberate action. And the stronger their energy becomes, the less they need to do. Because real power is not in force, it is in control. Now that you understand how energy is strengthened and stored, the next step is learning how to use it, not just for internal mastery, but for shaping reality itself. Because the moment you realize that energy moves not just within you, but through everything around you, is the moment you unlock the ability to direct it outward, bending reality in ways most people will never even perceive. Energy is not just something to be stored. It is meant to be directed, shaped, and released into the world with precision. Those who understand this shape reality itself. Those who don't are shaped by it. This is why two people can have the same goal, the same vision, the same opportunities, yet one succeeds while the other struggles. It has nothing to do with luck. It has nothing to do with talent. It has everything to do with how they use their energy. Energy is the currency of creation, and whether you realize it or not, you are spending it every second of your life. The question is, are you spending it intentionally? Or is it being drained, scattered, wasted on things that do not move you forward? Most people live in a state of energetic debt. They invest their energy into fear, into self-doubt, into distractions that keep them trapped in cycles of stagnation. They think about what they don't want more than what they do want. They focus on problems rather than solutions, limitations rather than possibilities. And because energy follows thought, their reality reflects that. Their lives become an extension of their inner world, a mirror of the energy they unconsciously feed. But those who master energy move differently. They do not spend energy reacting to what already exists. They spend it creating what does not yet exist. They understand that the world around them is not fixed, it is fluid, shaped by the unseen forces they direct through will, intention, and belief. The first truth of manifestation is simple. Energy expands where attention goes. What you focus on grows. This is why those who dwell on negativity attract more of it, and those who hold a vision with clarity and conviction inevitably see it materialize. The universe does not care what you want or do not want. It does not distinguish between what you desire and what you fear. It simply amplifies the energy you put out. Most people unknowingly sabotage themselves because their energy is split. They want success, but they focus on failure. They want love, but they expect disappointment. They want power, but they tell themselves they are weak. And so their energy is fragmented, sending mixed signals into a field that only responds to certainty. But energy mastery is not just about thinking positively or wishing for something to happen. Manifestation is not magic, it is physics. It is the natural consequence of aligned thought, emotion, and action. Those who understand energy do not simply hope for change. They direct it. They create a mental blueprint so vivid that it imprints itself onto reality. They charge it with emotion, giving it weight, substance, momentum. And then they act, not from a place of desperation, but from knowing that what they have envisioned is already theirs. They do not chase, because energy attracts what matches its frequency. They do not doubt, because doubt is a fracture in energy, a leak that weakens the manifestation process. They hold their focus with unshakable will, knowing that reality has no choice but to follow. This is why presence is the most powerful energetic state. The past is gone, the future is not yet formed, but the present moment is where energy is at its peak. Those who can hold their awareness in the now, who can focus without distraction, who can command their energy rather than being controlled by impulse. These are the ones who bend reality. They do not wish, they will. They do not wait, they create. And the world responds not because they are special, but because they understand what most people will never realize. Energy is a force, and it will serve those who know how to command it. The next step is refining this process. Ensuring that the energy you cultivate is not wasted, not scattered, not stolen by forces that thrive on your ignorance. Because while energy can create, it can also be drained, redirected, and manipulated by those who know how to take it from those who do not. And if you are not in control of your energy, something else will be. Energy is power. But power is only as strong as the one who holds it. Most people never reach their full energetic potential, not because they lack ability, but because they are leaking energy without realizing it. They wake up exhausted. They feel drained without explanation. They struggle to focus, and they move through life carrying a weight they can't identify. This is not normal. It is a result of energetic mismanagement. Every day, unseen forces are pulling at your energy, whether through external influences or internal habits that weaken your flow. If you do not take control of your energy, something else will. One of the greatest traps is unconscious energy depletion. Every interaction, every thought, every emotional reaction is an exchange of energy. Some experiences recharge you, while others leave you empty. But most people never stop to question why. They assume that exhaustion is just a physical state, that mental fog is just a lack of sleep, that anxiety is just an inevitable part of life. They never realize that every chaotic conversation, every piece of media designed to provoke fear, every cycle of self-doubt is siphoning their energy, feeding into a system that thrives on their weakness. The world is designed to keep you distracted, to pull your focus outward, to ensure that you never stop long enough to realize how much of your energy is being taken. But once you see it, you can no longer ignore it. People who drain your energy do so because they have none of their own. They move through life feeding on the vitality of others, knowingly or unknowingly, because they have never learned how to cultivate energy within themselves. They come as friends, co-workers, even family, disguised as those who need your time, your help, your attention. But true connection strengthens both sides. If every interaction leaves you feeling depleted, it is not connection, it is extraction. And the moment you begin to value your energy, to guard it as the source of your power, you will find that certain people, certain habits, certain environments will no longer feel tolerable. That is not a loss, that is an awakening. But external forces are only half the battle. The most common form of energy drain does not come from others, it comes from within. Most people sabotage their own energy without realizing it. Every moment spent in overthinking, in dwelling on the past, in fearing the future, is energy being wasted. The mind, when left unchecked, is the greatest thief of energy. It replays scenarios that no longer exist. It creates stress over events that have not yet happened, and in doing so, it keeps you in a state of constant depletion. This is why the strongest individuals are not those who react to everything, but those who remain centered, unmoved by the fluctuations of the external world. Presence is power. The more you can hold your awareness in the now, the less your energy will be scattered by illusion. There is a reason ancient masters cultivated stillness, why warriors trained in silence before battle, why the most powerful individuals move with an unshakable calm. It is not detachment, it is control. It is the understanding that energy is not infinite. It must be preserved, cultivated, and wielded with intention. This is the difference between those who move through life at the mercy of circumstance and those who shape their own destiny. And now that you understand the forces that drain energy, the final step is before you. Because once you master your energy, once you protect it, strengthen it, and direct it, there is only one thing left to do. Step into the full force of your own power and never look back. Energy is the foundation of everything. It shapes your health, your emotions, your success, and the way the world responds to you. But knowing this is not enough. Understanding that energy exists, that it flows, that it can be controlled, these are only the first steps. True mastery comes from application. Most people will never reach this level, not because they lack the ability, but because they never make the choice. They continue to live unconsciously, allowing their energy to be dictated by external forces, waiting for change instead of creating it. But those who take control of their energy take control of everything. They move through life with an inner power that cannot be ignored, a presence that influences reality itself. They are the ones who turn thoughts into results, who bend the world to match their vision, who operate with a force that others can sense but cannot explain. Mastering energy is not about temporary techniques or fleeting moments of insight. It is about transformation. It is about shifting from being a passive participant in life to becoming its architect. This is what separates those who remain bound by limitations from those who break free. The strongest individuals are not those who never face resistance. They are the ones who remain centered no matter what happens around them, whose energy is so stable, so refined, that no external force can shake them. This is what power truly looks like. Not aggression, not dominance, but absolute inner stability. When you reach this level, you no longer seek validation. You no longer rely on external circumstances to dictate your state of being. You no longer waste energy on things that do not serve you. Instead, you become the source. The world will not hand you this knowledge. It will not encourage you to step into this level of power. It will distract you, mislead you, convince you that energy is nothing more than a vague concept rather than the fundamental force of existence. But the truth has always been there, hidden in ancient teachings, encoded in esoteric traditions, waiting for those who are ready to claim it. Most people will dismiss it. Some will fear it. But a few will recognize it for what it is, the key to unlocking everything. And if you are here, reading this, feeling the weight of these words, then you already know which path is meant for you. But knowledge alone is not enough. To truly master energy, you need to go deeper. That is why we created Insights Academy, a space where we share knowledge that cannot be spoken openly, where the real teachings of energy control, esoteric wisdom, and unseen forces are revealed. If you are ready to take this further, join now through the link below. For a limited time, those who sign up will receive the Kybalion, not as a reward, but as a tool to decode the deeper layers of energy mastery. You have come this far. You have seen what most people will never see. The choice is now yours. Remain as you were, or step into something greater. The path of energy mastery is not for everyone, but for those who choose it. Nothing will ever be the same again. If this video resonated with you, let us know by commenting, "I understood it."